Hello and welcome to BW Hot Wires. Today we have with us Mr. Anmol Jaggi from Blue Smart Electric Mobility. Thank you, Mr. Jaggi, for sparing your time for BW Business World. It's always a pleasure interacting with you.
My pleasure, Abhishek. Thanks a lot.
There have been a series of developments in the automobile landscape. Delhi government has come out with multiple policies. The central government is coming up with multiple policies. So, the Delhi government has said that they're going to hire only EVs in the next few years, and they are targeting, I think, 30% of the vehicle park over here in the city by 2025 to be, electric powertrain driven. So, how do you perceive these developments? What kind of positive impact is it going to have on the EV industry? And do you see some jobs getting eliminated on the way when there is a mass adoption of EVs?
Yeah. So first of all, I think the Delhi government's initiative to convert to 100% electric is superb. At Blue Smart, we are trying to work with Delhi government in very close quarters to ensure that we are able to support, and whatever as a startup we are able to provide support to the Delhi government in its mission to turn 100% electric. We will be there. There is a large tender on charging stations which the Delhi government has come out with. We are participating with that. On the vehicle leasing part, it is clearly mentioned that the vehicles will not be owned by Delhi government but will be leased to Delhi government, and we will definitely participate in that. I think the day this was announced, I clearly remember calling our senior management team and informing to them that let us plan that instead of growing 400% year on year, let us plan that now with all these initiatives, we should grow 1000% year on year. So I think there is a chance. There is once in a lifetime opportunity for Blue Smart to kind of become 10x in the same year itself, and that's a very wonderful place to be in. From a jobs perspective, I think it will definitely be a rotation of jobs. I don't think ICE is going to get disrupted like in the next 2022, but yes, maybe by 2030 people will have to kind of relearn their skills on EV. By that time there will be massive adoption on electric mobility. So I don't think it's fundamentally changes a lot. Yes, there will no longer be an engine, but the body, tires, electronics, the seats, the chassis, all of that is still going to remain the same. It's only about the engine technology which is going to be changed. And from an engine technology perspective, I think the current people who are employed with engine technology will have to reskill themselves to EV. At the end of the day, it's a moving car, and a lot of, I think, excepting for the engine, everything else kind of remains the same. And people will have to reskill, and that's true with anybody, whether it was landlines getting replaced by mobile phones or conventional power plants being replaced by renewable energy. So these kind of mega trends which change the way in which the world will operate, people will have to reskill. If now there is somebody who has learnt about how to run coal-fired power plants, they have to now learn on how to operate solar and wind. So those kind of changes will happen, and I think it is not a sudden change that tomorrow morning 1 million people will go out of jobs or anything. It's a 10-year process, and there is enough time for people to reskill and relearn. And I'm sure the people who are into this business, either through their personal initiative or their company initiative, will reskill towards it.
You want to be the Uber of electric cars. Is your business model the same, or there is some sort of fine tuning? And if you want to remain the Uber of electric cars, then how do you stand to benefit out of it? Because you're not buying it, and you're not building the cars, and you're not the end customer. So where is your role coming into play?
Yeah, so when I met by the Uber is a simple way of saying ride hailing. What Blue Smart wants to do is ride hail, and how our business model is different from the existing ride hail companies is in 3 ways. Part number 1, that we are all electric. So that is a very fundamental difference, and how it impacts us is that we need to know the charge of each car so that we can allocate rides to that car depending on the charge that the car is carrying. So that is very important. The second thing that we need to do is that we need to know where the charging stations are. So unlike fuel stations, which are now very prevalent inside cities, we need to know where the charging points are, which we have created, and a lot of government charging points which are there, and direct the cars to those locations when the fuel is going empty. So that's how being electric is different. The other two ways in which we kind of are different from the existing ride-hail companies is that in the existing ride-hail businesses, the driver partners are the owner of the assets. Now, when the driver partners are the owner of the assets, at a lot of times, all of us have faced that the driver partners, because of the falling incentives on the other ride-hailing platforms, they have not been able to maintain their cars, and they have not been able to kind of keep the upkeep of the cars at a decent standard. At BlueSmart, when there are separate asset investors who are very large in their nature, they ensure that the car upkeep is always very good. The cars are being maintained properly. The cars, if there is a minor problem in the car, that is fixed up immediately. Because what happens is that with driver partners being under a lot of stress because of falling incentives, what takes a toll is the complete maintenance of these cars. And at BlueSmart, all these cars are very well maintained because our asset investors kind of ensure on that. So that's the second difference, that car ownership is with asset companies and car ownership is not with the driver partners. And the third, so the upkeep of the assets is much better. And third is that BlueSmart kind of from day one, and I think Abhishek, I know you from a lot of time. I think we know each other for about 1.5 years now. And I think from the day we started, we have been maintaining that BlueSmart will always be a zero cancellation, zero surge, zero delay company. So we will never do surge pricing, we will never cancel on a ride, and we will never be delayed for our trips. And I think we have been able to assure that out of now lakhs and lakhs of trips that we have done, we are never delayed, we never cancel, and we are always on time, and no surge pricing. So that on the consumer side, this is a big wow factor. You know with certainty that the fare that I paid on Monday morning is the fare that I'm paying on Friday evening, because it will not surge. Because there is a rain today morning, I don't have to pay 2 times extra. Because there is shortage of cars on the road, I will not have to pay 3 times extra. My ride will always arrive in time. My ride will always be clean. My car will always be maintained. So these are some of the great customer service aspects that we have tried to kind of bring in, which are being appreciated. Today in the city of Delhi, we have close to 170,000 people who have downloaded our app. On a weekly basis, we are seeing now 17,000 consumers use us on a weekly basis. This is all because we have been able to kind of build a good name for ourselves based on the quality service that we are providing. And I think the electric is a big disruption. But from a consumer perspective, the biggest disruption is in providing great customer service. I think the current market does not have companies which are able to provide it. And at BlueSmart, we are doing that. And that's why we are seeing early success coming in. And we hope to continue to traverse on this path so that there is continuous success that comes to BlueSmart.
17,000 people are registered with your app. But would you like to share how many cars are registered on your platform and how many more cars? Because when I meet your colleague, he tells me that we intend to have these many cars by this year. Would you like to share the timeline, and also is there any change in the timeline because of the COVID and all?
So just to reconfirm our numbers, we have 170,000 app downloads in the city of Delhi NCR, and about 17,000 consumers use us on a weekly basis. As of today, BlueSmart has more than 400 operating cars on the platform. So based on those 400 operating cars, we do about close to service about 17,000 consumers on a weekly basis. And for our expansion, as we speak, we have placed an order for 200 more cars with our asset investors. So we expect that by mid of May, we should be about close to 600 cars. We are also, as we're speaking, have launched a next round of funding. And with that next round of funding, we expect to be at close to 2,500 cars by the year end.
By 2021 end?
Yeah, by 2021 end. Next year, I'm not willing to commit to a number, but you can definitely expect that it will be in X of what we are doing by the end of this year, and not a linear 10%, 20%. It will be a growth of multiple times.
There are other business models also that are coming into play, like swappable batteries and all. So, I mean, do those business models mean enhance business opportunities for you? If yes, if you can shed some light on that.
Yeah, so we are, I think, for us, the clear adjacency of business is in the charging business, electric vehicle charging business. As you would know, BlueSmart operates 163 fast charging stations in the Delhi NCR area, which is by far the largest being operated by any private entity. And we are very happy that that is also making a contribution in the adoption of electric mobility. We are going to open up our 163 fast charging stations to public by the month of April, and then common man, everybody can just walk into a BlueSmart charging station and use it for charging their own EVs. And that is a business model that we are expanding. We are not just very soon. We are not just expanding to the charging stations in Delhi alone. We are expanding charging stations in multiple cities of India. And like I mentioned, in 2022, we will be present in 6 cities. But our charging network will go into these 6 cities even earlier than what our ride-hail business comes. So the charging business will precede the ride-hail business, and we will see that we set up charging stations in 6 cities in 2021, and we get the ride-hail business to operate in these 6 cities by 2022.
And so you mentioned about your charging business. So is it like again asset-light model, or it is asset-heavy model? And if it is asset-light, how are you working out the specifics of it? Because you have to earn profits. You cannot set up charging stations, or you cannot just set up any business without any profit.
So very happy to inform, our charging business is a profitable business. Our ride-hail business is still not profitable. Our ride-hail business is in losses, but our charging business is definitely profitable. And the 163 in the charging station business, there are 3 components. You need large land areas in areas of high ride density, where people want to travel, people want to come. You need land parcels in that areas. You need a big power load to charge about 100 cars in parallel. You need 1 megawatt of load. 1 megawatt of load is equivalent to a large 5-star hotel or a mall. So you need very large power loads to charge these cars, and you need that power load very close to your location, real estate location. So it's a business of being at the right place. You don't want to set up charging hubs which are 20 kilometers outside the city, because then you become uneconomical, and you will lose a lot of just in coming and going to the charging station, you will lose a lot. The charging stations need to be in areas of high population, high ride density, so that people can use it. Key factors are getting the real estate there and getting the power load, which is all being done by BlueSmart, and we operate 163 and expanding even faster on the EV charging stations than we are expanding on the ride hail. The last part about it is the ownership of the chargers. So the chargers that are there, as of now, most of the chargers that we own are that we operate are owned by BlueSmart. However, there are certain charging partners who come and set up these charging stations on our land and our real estate, and on our power connection. And we are happy to partner with certain charging partners who come and install those boxes. And while they install those boxes, we control the land and the power to those boxes. And by virtue of that, we do a revenue share with our charging partners who invest in the charging guns. So BlueSmart does a lot of investment on the land and the power connection, and the charging partners, some of them invest in the boxes, the charging guns.
So in the process, are you expanding to newer cities? You mentioned about tier 2 cities and tier 3 cities, but right now I think you are present largely in Delhi NCR. That's your stronghold. So I mean, which are the other cities you are currently present in, and which are the cities where you are planning to make a foray into?
So we are not in 2021. We're going to expand our charging network to other cities in 2021. Like I mentioned, 6 cities. But the ride-hailing will only expand to 6 cities in the year 2022. And what we are definitely going to do to expand to other cities is that first establish the charging network, and then the ride-hail comes in. And like I mentioned, in 2021, the charging stations will come, and in 2022, the ride-hailing will come to 6 cities.
Okay. So safe to assume that right now you're only present in Delhi NCR?
We did, as we speak, we are doing trial runs in the city of Bombay, and we are trying to know about how traffic flows in Bombay, and we are trying to understand of what kind of mobility preferences the consumers in Bombay have. It is an experiment which is running, and we are trying to gather a lot of data, and with God's grace, we should have some good data with us, and then we will take a final call on when and how do we open up the city of Mumbai.
Okay, fine. What about other cities like Bangalore, which is the Silicon Valley of India, Calcutta, and where I hail from, and also
we are very excited to enter these new cities, and definitely some of the cities you mentioned is part of the 6 city list that we have for 2022.
Your company is engineered in India, so does it make you feel proud? And would you like to take that to, at the global level? An engineered in India product line being explored worldwide.
I think I can share with you right now also that we keep receiving queries and interest from many nations across the world. You would know that BlueSmart is a case study by WBCSD, which is World Bank Council on Sustainable Development. BlueSmart is a case study to promote electric mobility in developing nations, and that case study has been read by hundreds and thousands and millions of people, and they read that, they inquire a lot about BlueSmart. I see every day email coming in from various people from various nations writing to us on how they can start a BlueSmart similar company in their nation. We do guide them, and it is definitely on our agenda and on our wish list that we not just remain in India and take this unique innovation that we have done across the globe. I think that will be the best thing that we can do for kind of make in India, design in India, and exporting it to the world.
Thank you, Mr. Jaggi, for talking to BW Business World. It was an honor interacting with you. We wish you all the best in your mission and vision for promoting e-mobility.
Thank you. Thanks, Abhishek.